So you guys know about that super expensive Lego Star Wars book that came out recently, right? I don't know who in their right mind would buy that thing. Oopsie! So yes, today we are going to be talking about the new Lego Star Wars Force of Creativity book that retails for $150. But that's exactly why I bought it, so you don't have to. So let's check out what's inside. So I know you all at home watching can't really tell how heavy this thing is, but just to give you an idea here, it's a lot. This thing is super thick, it has over 300 pages and a whole bunch of memorabilia inside, so let's crack it open and see the goods. It almost feels illegal for me to be opening this thing with how much it costs. So as you can see on this sheet here that was shrink wrapped to the back of the book, this is obviously for the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars. And they also tell you about all the stuff that comes in here with a whole bunch of interviews from the author and other Lego Star Wars creators, a bunch of color pages with different designs and concept art. And then also there's like a time capsule thing here with memorabilia and like Toy Fair 1999 stuff. So there's a whole bunch of like old relics of Lego Star Wars inside the box here that I'm really excited to check out. So what you're seeing actually isn't the book itself. There's actually a case around the book, so it's kind of overkill, but it's definitely getting that $150 price point with that. And you can see it has this shiny decal of the LEGO UCS Millennium Falcon here, along with the Force of Creativity and LEGO Star Wars logo embossed on this little container for the book inside. So once you actually open it up, you'll see there's kind of the decals that the Lego Star Wars boxes from this year are using, with that kind of shiny chromish blue decal on the sides of the opening flaps here, just like on the boxes for the sets. And then you have this little pull tab that then you can actually take the real contents out, which is our nice book here, which also has a shiny decal of the UCS Star Destroyer. There's also an image of the new R2-D2 from the 25th anniversary sets from this year as well on the back. And then also on the back of the container for the book, there's also the UCS AT-AT. So they're definitely marketing it towards collectors with all the UCS sets being on here, and it's just very clean presentation and everything, similar to how those UCS boxes have just like that black background and everything. So they're definitely aiming towards the collectors here. And because of that $150 price point, I can see those being some of the only people who will want this. Luckily, I was able to get mine with some LEGO rewards points, so I got a bit of a discount on it, because I was not too excited to pay the full $150. And you'll also see here that time capsule that they talked about on the back of the box. So in this little box here, there's a whole bunch of cool LEGO Star Wars trinkets and memorabilia. Looks like there's also some instructions for a micro build of the Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. So it looks like that could have been an unreleased thing for maybe an advent calendar or like a mini build in a LEGO store. So that would be a fun one to do if I can get the parts for it. And then here's that LEGO Star Wars 1999 Toy Fair invitation. They give you instructions on how to put it together. So let's do that. Alright, so I'll definitely be cutting me trying to put this together in post, because this thing was kind of a pain to put together, but maybe I'm just stupid. But this is what it looks like when it's all done here. So we've joined forces to create our most stellar product launch ever. So this is one of the original like promotional materials for LEGO Star Wars. It's reproduced, obviously. You can see it has 1999 and 2024 on it. So it's not like they got a copy of one of the old ones and put it in here, but they just kind of reproduced it, which is a really cool thing to do. And I'm sure people will be screaming at me for putting this together and not leaving it folded in the box, but I wanted to see what it looks like together. So this looks pretty cool all together here. This will make for a nice trinket on my shelf. Then we have instructions for a LEGO set that was only given out to Lucasfilm employees for May the 4th last year. It's the 6471930 Lucas Yoda fountain. So this is a recreation of the fountain at the, I believe, Lucasfilm Studios or Skywalker Ranch. I can't remember where it is, but it has instructions for the actual fountain with the Yoda minifigure on it and everything. So I'll definitely be getting parts for this to make this, because this will be really cool to have on my desk somewhere. It's too bad they don't give you the pieces to do it. I'll just have to buy them separately, but having the physical instructions is definitely a nice start here. And then we have another Toy Fair item here. This is a booklet from the 2010 Toy Fair. It's just kind of a promotional material showing off some minifigures that were going to be in sets that year, so showing some newer minifigures. I know the all-white prototype Boba Fett was a minifigure that was out that year, so they were kind of showing it off in there too. So it just has a lot of different minifigures and sets that were coming out that year. So it's kind of cool to have this little relic from that old Toy Fair as well. And here we have a script for LEGO Star Wars Tonight, created by John McCormack and written by Michael Price. It is a script draft of an animated LEGO special that was going to be put to the screen but never happened. So it's kind of unproduced. So it's kind of cool to have this little script here from a show that never actually came to be. So I might have to flip through this later and read more about it. Next, there's just this simple little LEGO Star Wars postcard here with the original logo there. You can see we've come a long way with some of how the minifigures look there, with Luke with a green lightsaber and Leia with black hair. So it's kind of funny how the old illustrations look in comparison to the new ones, but just a little postcard. Then there's a sketch of these hologram micro figures. I believe only the Palpatine one was ever produced. It would have been cool to get some of these other ones too, but this is just kind of a concept art of what those original hologram micro figures look like, as well as a pencil sketch of an advertisement here with Darth Vader and some different TIE fighters that he's putting together with the Force, it looks like. Then there's some concept art developments here of a Zam Wesell minifigure from 2020. This figure only was ever in one set back in 2002, and so I know when this pictures of this book were starting to release online, everybody saw this and thought, oh my god, new Zam Wesell minifigure, but it looks like just for now, we still only have these promotional materials for it, because I believe this was made for the LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga game. That's what this minifigure was conceptualized for, but still only ever in that one set from 2002, unfortunately. And then finally, for the time capsule, there's this 2019 unreleased poster for the UCS Star Destroyer. So apparently this was never revealed or released anywhere else, and it's only ever been put in this book here. So it's pretty cool to have this piece of history that was never shown anywhere else. So as far as the time capsule contents go, there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. I'm definitely going to have to flip through that script later and maybe build that Yoda fountain and that micro ghost. So a lot of cool stuff here with possibility to check out in the future. And now that we're all done taking a look inside the time capsule, let's get a closer look at the actual book itself. Ooh, once again, it feels illegal opening up that fresh spine on that book there. But you know, the books are meant to be read. I'm not just going to leave it sealed in the box forever. Looks like we got some more concept art of a minifigure that never came to be. Looks like it's one of those guys from the Cantina. We even have a foreword by Billy D. Williams, who plays Lando himself. A lot of cool reference photos to some of the original concept art before it became a LEGO set here too. And of course we have our legendary hero Jedi Bob right up front in the book as well. And just like on that postcard in the time capsule, you have that same image here. There's also that same sketch that we got in the time capsule, and you can see it actually turned into a couple different advertisements. It's also just kind of amazing to see how far we've come. I mean, just looking at that UCS Millennium Falcon on the front of the book, and then you see these old ones that just kind of look like a dirty dish plate, but it's kind of cool to see how far they've come. They also show a whole bunch of different versions of sets before they actually decided on the final product. Looks like there was also a 2006 poll on StarWars.com that asked fans to vote for the next Ultimate Collector's Series set, and apparently there was a Vulture droid and a medical droid that were being considered before the Cantina won out. We even get some information on our infamous Max Rebo minifigure, and kind of the history of the Stormtrooper helmet. And by the way, I think the newer helmets are pretty underrated. We also get some alternate looks at those pretty ugly, but albeit accurate Clone Wars faces. They even have a chapter dedicated to just the LEGO Star Wars video games. And to this day, I wish we still got a Boss Nass minifigure. They even talk about that old cartoon, Revenge of the Brick. I remember watching that on Cartoon Network when I was like 6. They also talk about the LEGO Star Wars Tonight show that never got produced, which has that script in the time capsule we got. There's some discussion about some of the construction figures, and they even show a couple that were never released. I really like this 501st Trooper on the AT-RT. They talk about some of the helmet sets too, and honestly, I kind of like these versions more than the ones that actually came out. I like that they have the plaques on the front like the UCS sets. I really wish I wouldn't have seen this image, because now I'm really tempted to recreate something just like it. Is that a buildable Babu Frick? Sometimes you see something that you never knew you needed. This Mandalorian art made out of all mini Mandalorian helmets is really cool. They even have an entire timeline of almost every set and every animated special or series that ever came out. Talk about being thorough. And that's just a taste of what this book has to offer, but there's plenty more secrets inside. So that's pretty much everything that is included in the LEGO Star Wars Force of Creativity book. A lot of cool memorabilia, a lot of interesting insight inside those pages there, but I don't know if it's worth $150. I would recommend maybe waiting for a sale, or maybe if you can find it a little bit cheaper, maybe even $100 might be a little bit more worth it, or if you could buy it directly from Lego. Lego.com I know has it. I know some Lego stores have it. That's where I got mine, was my local Lego store. So then if you're able to at least get some rewards points for it, it might be a little bit more worth it. But otherwise, I'd say maybe wait for a little bit of a price drop. But it is definitely cool to see some of those old relics and a lot of the history of LEGO Star Wars in here, and it's definitely going to be a nice statement piece for the coffee table. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.